Hey guys, Nick here. So today we'll be looking at the Honda Pioneer 1005 Trail Edition. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Pioneer models here, especially in the 1000 lineup. Then, of course, talk about some of the different stats of the Pioneer here, pricing, availability. Then we're going to get up close, I'll show you all around. And then finally, I'm going to drive the Pioneer and give you my final thoughts and opinions on it. So let's get started. Now, before we dive into the Pioneer, I want to thank JAF Motors, located in Glenville, New York, for lending me this for a couple hours here to drive it and show you all around the Pioneer and what it has to offer. So you'll find their information on the screen and as well down below if you'd like to contact them into getting any Honda product. Now let's talk about the Pioneer. So let's talk about Honda's Trail Edition versus their Force Edition, because interestingly enough, if you go on the website, you'll notice they share the same price point. Both a little bit over 22 grand. Pricing will come on screen, but for the same amount of money, you can get the Force or the Trail Edition, which are spec'd differently to one of which might be to more of your liking, depending on what you're going to do with it. Your average hunter, go out in the forest, your woods, you're going to just kind of work the machine, again, go hunting, and etc. Force Edition makes sense. Bigger front steel bumper on it, covers the headlights, all Honda Phantom camo wrapped on all the plastics are camo wrapped, black wheels on it. You're getting LED bed lights in the bed on it, so you can kind of see a little bit better in the bed at dark. Of course, when you're hunting and different things, you know, you're gonna be throwing different items in the back, so being able to have some lighting back there is a nice little feature. But with the Trail Edition, it's more geared, you know, if you're gonna go trail riding, have a good time, bring friends around, have a good time, so you get a more flashy, brighter paint scheme on this. You can get it in this pearl orange here, or you can get it in their matte navy blue, I believe it's called. And both these models share a worn 4,500 pound winch you can get from the factory, aluminum wheels, but with the Trail Edition, you get adjustable Fox shocks on it. These have little clickers on them. You have 3 settings. When you go up to them, you can kind of click over soft, medium, and a firm setting. So it is kind of interesting how they do that, how you get Fox shocks on this model, but not on the Force Edition, and you're really just getting a bigger bumper, some lighting for the same amount of money. I also do feel the way they've done this makes sense because they're going after 2 different target audiences with the Pioneer model. We have 2 totally different audiences that will use a 1000. People that really want to work and the people that really want to go out and ride trails with it. For Honda, this does make a lot of sense in the way they've gone about this. And you can also get these in a 3-seater option if you don't want to hold 5 people, which just has, you know, the bed on the back, not the extended roll cage. And keep in mind too, that the Trail and the Force Edition do not come with the windshield or the roof that is on this one currently. These are probably Honda's most popular options that people get on these, and I would highly recommend if you're going to do one or any option, you at least start off with the roof. But that's a quick, nice little rundown on the Pioneer. So now let's jump in and talk about the Pioneer platform. So talking about the Pioneer 1000, starting off with the drivetrain, we have a 999cc fuel-injected parallel twin engine paired up to a 6-speed transmission that is a real transmission like you'd find in your car, not a CVT or belt drive system, so you don't have to worry about belts blowing or anything like that. A real reliable drivetrain. What's great about that is when you change your motor oil on one of these, you're also changing your transmission oil. It's all built into the same oil bath. So it is crucial that you run the Honda oils in these machines for the inside of the transmission for the clutches. When power goes to the wheels on one of these Trail or Force Editions, you're going to find the i-4WD, which is Honda's electronic flagship drivetrain. So what this means is when you put it in 4-wheel drive, it's going to electronically apply power to wheels that are gaining traction that need more power being sent to them. So some of the benefits of this is it allows you to have a tighter turning radius, lighter steering, and less tracking when driving it at high speeds. Now, Honda has a whole article and write-up, if you go on their website, that will kind of explain the i-4WD drive a lot more thoroughly to you and the benefits of it. Now, that was a lot of talking, so let's get up close and let's start with the dump body / rear seats. Now that we're up close, we got a latch here, we got a latch over here, and we got a normal tailgate. Over here, we're going to find a nice 12-volt cigarette outlet in the bed here. So there's that. If we come up here and we come down, we're going to find a receiver. So you can put your hitch in into any kind of trailer you want. And we're going to come around the side of the machine here. We're going to dump our bed. And here you're going to find your Fox shocks, your adjustable clicker right there. 3 settings. Right now they're in the softest position on this one. You're going to find here we have a step and a little tray here, because when these seats go up, that's where your feet are going to go. Now we're going to bring this back down, and let's go flip up one of the seats. So how do you flip open one of these seats? Well, undo a latch, open your door up. Now we're going to find this tray. Pick it up. It's going to latch in just like that. Now once you have that all latched in, you can walk up to it. Got a little hook here. It's going to fall kind of like that, and you can kind of hit it in. And it's basically going to kind of lock in there, and it's going to hold. So back up a little bit so you can get kind of a visual. We'll shut the door up. Here's your rear seat. Walk up to it. Door handles on the inside of the door right there. You got a cup holder too on both sides. Our tray we talked about. 2 seat belts so you can do a normal full-sized seating harness. Now what's great about this is you can put 1 seat up, so you can actually seat 4 people just like this, because you have 3 seats up front. But you can leave that down, and that gives you still, you know, half your bed you can work with, which is really nice, because now you can still fit whatever you need to fit, some tools, whatnot, or you can even shut the tailgate. You even have some room behind the seat. So walking up to it now, put those seats up. So you got both of them open. And you can see you still got a pretty good sized ledge in the back that you can throw some stuff in, throw some different items through. You got hook points too. So you can still mount something if you want a big cooler back here or something. You know, if you need to get around, you're not going too far or something. And again, right now with those rear seats up, this is going to seat 5 people, not just 4. Now getting inside in the back, I'll shut the door a bit. And you know, it's cramped is a good way of putting it back here. It's definitely more suited for kids back here, I would say, than full-grown adults. But you can, as a full-grown adult, fit back here just fine. You have a grab bar right in front of you. It's not the most plush, biggest seat on these, of course, because they fold out. But if you do need a bigger back seat and you're going to be using, you know, 4, 5, 6 people very often, Honda does make a 6-seater Pioneer, which gives you a full-size rear seat like you have up front. Made a video on one of those. That'll pop up. So that's another option you can go from Honda if this doesn't suit. But this has been a very popular item from Honda. Now when you're putting the seat back down, it's important that you pull this up and you latch it, because if you don't do this with the seat, it's not going to sit fully. When you come around to the back, I'll show you, there's a little tab you push in that unlocks the seat, and it's basically going to kind of free fall into place. So now on this side, let me show you exactly what I mean. Once you have that seat flipped up, you're going to come around to the back here. There's a little latch here you're going to pull on. You're going to click it up. It's going to release there. And it's just going to fall down. Now you're going to notice this groove right here when it goes down right there. So when I shut this door, you're going to see it kind of locks over with this plate right here and kind of holds the seats down. Now, if you are worried about getting dirt down here or anything like that, Honda makes a variety of tub and mat options. You can get like a hard mat that just goes on the bottom, or you can get like big tubs that go up the sides of it. It's endless in terms of accessories, what you can do with one of these. I'm going to have a video out shortly that's going to kind of run through a lot of those Honda accessories you can get. So that's the back seat. So let's get into the dash. Alrighty, so now looking at our dashboard here on the Pioneer. Starting off with the center, we're actually going to go way down here. And you're going to find a little 12-volt cigarette outlet down there in that tray. So you got a couple cargo nets here, another smaller one, kind of isolated back further back in there. Down here we have our switch panel. So these are things you all get above the base model. On the Pioneer, we have our winch switch for our inner and our out. We have our LED light here, which there's a little LED light on the other side of this floor pan, which I'll try and show you. It's hidden in the plastic there, so it's pretty hard to see, but it is there. And you have one more switch there if you have another accessory switch you want to wire in. On the Forest Edition though, that would hit another set of LED lights, which would be located in the bed of this, which is interesting why this doesn't have that, but you're also getting Fox shocks on this versus not on the Forest, so some interesting trade-offs there. But working our ways up a little more, headlights off, on in our high beam, automatic or manual in our sport mode. Sport mode's for your automatic mode. It'll basically hold out gears, keep it more in the rev range, power range on this. Finally, hill start assist. Something too I want to make note of, all these switches here have LED backlighting, so at night they do actually light up. You're not going to see it right now, of course, but they do function, and they actually glow pretty nicely. Here we have our turf, two-wheel, and our four-wheel drive. So our turf mode disengages that rear diff in the back, tries to open it up a bit. And so what that allows is that when you're doing tight turning on your turf, your lawn, you don't rip up your lawn so much. Then you have normal two-wheel drive, which basically locks up that rear differential. So if you want to have some more sport fun with this, slide it around a bit, that's great for that. And then you have your four-wheel drive, which is your i-4WD drive, which I've explained previously. On our right side here is our glove compartment. All your important books, your owner's manual is located in there. Passenger cup holder down there, and passenger cup holder down there in the door. And as well, we're going to find that on our driver's side and here on the left side. Now, with our gear indicator, we have our park, reverse, neutral, high, and our low range. So put your foot on the brake and you just kind of shift it down and over, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Coming to our steering wheel, we have our paddle shifters, which are a nice size. Good size steering wheel too on these, not too small, but also not too big. You have all your tilt on your steering wheel too, so you can bring it up and down. Now, turning our key on. Now taking a closer look at our dashboard. With this turned on, you're going to find we have a variety of lights over here. Neutral light, reverse light, temp light, oil light, hill start assist, check engine light, power steering light, i-4WD drive light, seatbelt light. It'll only do about 12 to 14 mile an hour without the seatbelt on, so make sure you have the seatbelt clipped in, and there's no helmet sensors on this like you'd find on a Yamaha or some others. Now, from there, on our main display, of course, it'll tell us what gear we're in. So if you have it in manual mode, that's going to show you out of the 6 gears what gear you're in. Now over here, what's interesting is on our kind of four-wheel drive indicator where those X's are hollowed out. Those are going to fill in to be solid like those rear tires are. And that's when you put it in two-wheel drive, and then when you put it in four-wheel drive. And it's just a neat little indicator kind of telling you what diffs are locked and, you know, where's power going. Top of that, we have a little button here, so we can hit that. Just going to tell us a trip, coolant temp out of 4 bars, hours on the machine, voltage, 100 miles or 20 hours, whatever it's going to count down from, and that's your first oil change on one of these, which is pretty straightforward. Now as we're back up to the front of the machine, I'm going to take these 2 clips, pull them up, twist, pick it up, slide forward. Just going to move out of our way there. And in here, we're going to find our battery, coolant tank, radiator, little toolkit, fuses, basically all of our electrical on this machine. And now I'm going to get the camera up and moving, and I'm going to show you under the seat so you can see where the dipsticks are. That way, for those of you wondering about service and you want to know how accessible everything is, it's pretty easy to access everything in terms of maintenance on this. Now coming up to our driver's seat, as you're going to notice, you might not see the engine really here, and you might not see it here. Well, don't worry, this little cover comes off, slide it out of the way. That dipstick with all the green paint on it is the one in your transmission side. So that's your secondary checkpoint. And then when you come to the back here, got a little cover down over there. Now if you go straight down, you're gonna find your 2 oil filters right there. So yeah, I'd say Honda makes them pretty accessible. These covers all come off, of course, pretty simply. And what's great about this is it also adds as like a heat shield. As some of the earlier Pioneer models, you might remember there was some kind of temperature or heating issues, but Honda sorted all that out a while ago. And a great benefit on these newer Pioneers, if we go straight down, so we got a large combi right here, which is pretty deep. You can actually fit a lot of stuff in there. It even has a drain plug in it, I believe. But yeah, so that's under the seat. Seat goes back on, you just kind of push it in on these 2 points there, and then it's got a hook point right in the middle. So real nice, straightforward, and simple. Wow, well there it is, the Trail Edition Pioneer from Honda for 2023. I hope you did all enjoy this video, found it useful or entertaining in some sort of way. As always, feel free to comment down below, share your opinions, your personal thoughts, any questions you have on the Trail Edition or the Pioneer lineup. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.